JICA has valued as high important mission to introduce this concept to the potential leaders of the developing countries. And we have continued to cooperate with Hitotsubashi University to provide this relevant seminar since 2006. The concept is not only useful for the private companies, but also any types of organization with which management and leadership matters. This year marks 60th anniversary for the relationship between Japan and Cambodia, and also 20th anniversary of the establishment of JICA Cambodia office. I am very proud that in this memorial year, JICA can provide all of you with an occasion to make a deep reflection on the leadership, which is an important asset for any organization and rapidly changing in the world. To conclude my remark, I wish you have a fruitful and successful seminar today. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. I'm Kazuichi Jo. I'm professor at Hitotsubashi University in Tokyo, Japan. And also I'm professor at IMD. It's a business school in Switzerland. So I teach MBAs in Tokyo, and I teach executives at IMD in Switzerland. And my expertise is developing the innovation, also developing the knowledge-based management. And actually, this concept itself was developed by my boss, Professor Nonaka, Professor Ikujiro Nonaka. He's a guru, and he developed the concept. And since 1995, I've been working closely with Professor Nonaka to develop this concept further. And so as a result, we can demonstrate our expertise of developing the knowledge-based management. And today I'm very happy to talk about this concept. And but concept itself is not good enough. I want to show the application of the concept by reading global companies such as IBM, or Nestle, and Honda. Because knowledge-based management is the global concept, therefore it is used by companies in the US and companies in Europe, and of course companies in Japan. We can explain the reason for the success for the leading companies such as Honda, Toyota, IBM, Nestle, from the viewpoint of the knowledge-based management. So therefore, I hope that you understand the concept well today, and I hope you can utilize that concept for you to grow your organization if you work for the companies. This concept is applicable not only for the global companies, but also for the local companies. It is the concept not only for the big companies, but also for the small companies. So therefore, I think this concept may be useful for everybody here in this room. And this concept, again, is useful not only for the private sector organizations, such as companies, but also this concept is useful for the public sector organization, for governments, for ministries, because we've been, the Professor Naraka and I have been working closely with the governments, the administrative organization here in Asia. So therefore, with confidence, we can say that this concept is also useful for the public sector as well. So therefore, today I hope that you understand the concept and you use it for you to grow your organization. Okay. And at the beginning of my session, let me introduce one company. By the way, the title for this session is the kind of the Phronetic leadership. Phronetic leadership is leadership for driving innovation. Innovation, innovation, innovation. Now, innovation is a keyword for many companies. Innovation does really matter in the developed countries because, without innovation, companies, they have to deal with, price competition. Without innovation, companies can offer only commodities, but from, selling commodities, companies cannot get good profit. So therefore, in order to get, a good profit, in order to grow businesses, innovation does really matter. In the developed countries such as the US, Japan, and the European countries such as Germany, France, UK. But also innovation is really important in emerging markets. So recently, we have a new kind of a buzzword such as reverse innovation and frugal innovation to grow in emerging countries. Because the market condition in emerging countries are quite different. The cheaper prices might be necessary, but new quality standard might be necessary for companies to grow in emerging countries. Then, in order to grow businesses in emerging countries, innovation does really matter. But the innovation here is called the reverse innovation. What does it mean? Usually, innovation starts from technology. Innovation starts from R&D. Companies develop unique technology. Then they have to think about how to develop, how to utilize that technology to offer unique products. So anyway, usually in developed countries, innovation starts from the R&D, technology, from left to right. So, but in emerging countries, innovation should be starting from the market. So the companies, they have to listen to the voice of customers to identify the unique demand for products in emerging markets. And also they have to identify the appropriate quality standard here in emerging countries. So therefore, innovation starts from the market, not from technology. Therefore, here innovation is called reverse innovation. That means innovation starts from the market. And also that kind of innovation is called also the frugal innovation. Because, new price, or requirements might be quite important, might be existing in emerging countries. Cheaper price, appropriate price might be necessary for companies to grow in emerging countries. For that purpose, they have to do frugal innovation. Saving costs, saving money, offering high quality products with lower cost. This is called frugal innovation. So the innovation is important not only in the developed countries, but also in emerging markets. So innovation does really matter. And then the key issue is how to drive innovation, especially in emerging countries. Therefore, we need Phronetic leadership. Phronetic leadership is leadership for driving innovation in developed countries, also driving innovation in emerging markets. So therefore, I'm going to talk about the concrete example of the Phronetic leadership, and so that you can also drive innovation in your country. Okay. So this is kind of the overview of the session today. But at the beginning of my session, let me introduce one company, kind of the role model for driving innovation. The company is IBM. IBM, you know IBM, okay? So the IBM started its operation in 1911. That means 2 years ago, they celebrated 100th anniversary. Okay, they started its operation in 1911, and they could celebrate the 100th anniversary 2 years ago. In 1911, they had a different company name. The company name was the computing tabulating recording company. Strange name. So that time, they did not produce any single computer because in 1911, computers were not invented yet. So they produced tabulating machines, punch cards, the registers, those things were the major products for the initial IBM, CTR. But then the CEO working for that company, he had a very ambitious vision in 1924. Actually, IBM, the CTR, started as a local domestic company, small company. That time in 1911, IBM was small. So they started as a local domestic company. But in 1925, CEO for that company, he had a very ambitious vision. We want to be international. We want to grow beyond the US boundary. He had that ambition, vision, very ambitious vision. He wanted to drive, he wanted to execute that vision. And for that purpose, he had to communicate that vision to employees. So in order to communicate that vision effectively, he changed the company name. New company name was IBM. And then what it stands for? IBM stands for International Business Machines. The intention for that that vision was quite obvious. We want to be an international company. We want to grow globally. And therefore, he developed that vision, and he communicated that vision very, very effectively. And therefore, IBM employees, they began to move so that they could execute that vision. And the execution was done very successfully. The IBM began to grow in other countries. They established so many IBMs in many countries. IBM China, IBM Japan, IBM UK, IBM Germany, IBM France, so successful. Therefore, in 1970s, they became so-called multinational company, starting as a small local domestic company, but becoming an international company. And finally, in 1970s, they became multinational company. Multinational company. This is the exciting growth story. Starting as a local domestic, very, very small company, but then becoming a bigger company, international company, and becoming a far bigger company, multinational company. And in 2011, also here today, they introduced themselves as GIE. GIE. What does it stand for? It stands for Globally Integrated Enterprise. The meaning is there's one single IBM in the world. In the past, in the 1970s, as I said, they became multinational company. So that means there were so many IBMs in the world. But now they are GIE, Globally Integrated Enterprise. That means there's one single IBM in the world. Every operation got connected at IBM. Of course, they have the unique, they have local, sales organization, such as IBM Japan, IBM China. They have the local sales organization, but the other functions got integrated. Just one single back office operation, just one single call center in Philippines. Okay, so they have just one single global call center for the entire IBM in Philippines. So the IBM is globally integrated, shifting from the local optimization to the global optimization. So this is the kind of the journey of the becoming a bigger company, journey of becoming a global company. And so this is kind of the history of IBM. Yeah, but in IBM, in the past, they faced difficulty, especially in the 1980s. And so many big changes did occur in the computer industry. in the 1980s, and such as the invention of the personal computers, the debut of the Macintosh in 1984, and the emergence of the unique companies such as Microsoft, Intel. There's so many changes that did occur in the computer industry. Unfortunately, IBM could not make a good adaptation to the changing environment. Therefore, they became almost bankrupt in 1992. Okay? And then the IBM got a new CEO to accomplish a turnaround, and it did work very well. And also the IBM came back, and now they are enjoying the growth to kind of the tough time, IBM, especially in the 1980s. But now, after the successful turnaround, they are doing very well. They're leading the market at the one of the leading IT industry. But anyway, so they accomplished a comeback, and they could enjoy the anniversary. And in order to celebrate their 100th anniversary, they developed a unique video summarizing the history of IBM. And here's the title, the title, 100 times 100. This is the title for this video, summarizing the history of IBM for 100 years. So then what does it mean? 100 times 100. The first 100 means 100 years, because they celebrated 100th anniversary. The second 100 means innovation. So this is kind of their summary. The history of IBM is a history of innovation. History of innovation. Because of the so many innovations, IBM could accomplish a sustainable growth. Therefore, in order to summarize the history of IBM, they wanted to develop this video. Title is 100 times 100. It's a short video. By the way, have you ever watched this video? Oh, so it's worth showing. Anyway, so let's watch this video. It's about 30 minutes. It's short, but very exciting, very inspiring. So this is a very unique video, well developed. So in this video, you are going to watch 100 innovations done by IBM. Okay? Starting from innovation in 1911. Actually, this is the start of the birth of the new company, the CTR. So this is the first innovation. So the first, you are going to see the innovation done by CTR in 1911. Then the ending at the end, you see the innovation by IBM in 2011. So you are going to see 100 innovations. Maybe you might be amazed to see so many innovations done by IBM. So this is kind of the one unique feature. The another feature is each innovation will be introduced by IBMers. IBMers. IBMer means IBM employees. So at the beginning, so you are going to watch so many IBMers, IBM employees. So the IBM employees, they will be introducing IBM innovations in this video. And also, this is also the another unique feature for this video. Each innovation will be introduced by a person who was born that year. That means at the beginning, you are going to see a very old guy who was born in 1911. Okay? Then as you go through the video, you are going to meet younger guy. Finally, around the end, you are going to meet a baby. Of course, a baby cannot talk. Therefore, actually, he or she, I don't know, he's a boy or girl. He or she cannot talk about the new innovation. But each innovation will be introduced by a person who was born that year. So starting from the older guy and the ending with a baby. And as I said, they are IBMers. That means around the beginning of this video, you are going to meet former IBMers because they already retired. But as you go through the movie, you are going to meet current IBMers who are working at IBM in that year. And around the end of the video, you are going to meet kids. That means they are introduced as future IBMers. Okay? So these are kind of the unique features for this video. So let's watch the video.
I was born 100 years ago, 1911. Another important thing happened that year. 3 companies took a bold step and created the Computing, Tabulating, Recording Company. And the world was about to get a whole lot smarter.
By 1912, the year I was born, the company already has 1,300 employees.
1913, the company's Hollerith tabulating machine, once used only in census taking, is now applied to industry.
In 1914, 76 years before the American Disabilities Act was passed, they hired their first disabled worker.
In 1915, the best man for the job of president is Thomas J. Watson.
Mr. Watson believes that all the problems of the world can be settled easily if people are only willing to think.
1917, Brazil. 1918, 3,000 employees. Growth. 1919, the electronic synchronized time clock.
The first printing tabulator.
The job ticket printing machine.
The Carroll Rotary Card Press.
The electric key punch. By 1924, as a way to signal the company's future ambitions, Watson changes the name of the company to International Business Machines, IBM.
In 1925, a tableware manufacturer installs the first IBM tabulating machine in Japan.
Tabulating machine technology is so reliable. It's used well after the invention of the computer.
I was born in 1927, and so is the automated gang punch.
The 80-column IBM punch card.
The first card-counting printing sorter ships in 29.
In 1930, Watson received his first patent for a traffic signal timing system.
1931, IBM introduces the automatic multiplying punch, the automatic reproducing punch, the first motor drive duplicating punch, and the first automatic summary punch. 31 was a big year for punches.
In 1932, IBM starts an education department for employees and customers.
The numeric printing tabulator.
In 1934, IBM introduces group life insurance in the midst of the Great Depression.
In 1935, IBM opens the first professional training school for women.
1936, Social Security. Many believed it wouldn't exist without IBM. It's called the biggest accounting operation of all time.
1937, IBM China.
In 1938, millions of children first hear the phrase, "Please fill in the bubble completely," thanks to the IBM 805 International Test Scoring Machine.
1939, IBM demonstrates an early form of email at the New York World's Fair.
1940, a vacuum tube that processes information thousands of times faster than ever before.
In 1941, IBM hires Dr. Michael Supa to make its products more usable by the visually impaired. Dr. Supa was blind.
IBM believes in cultivating and developing the best talent in the world. That's why we introduced the Disabled Employee Training Program in 1942.
In 1943, Ruth Leach becomes IBM's first female vice president.
1944, the Automated Sequence-Controlled Calculator.
The first Watson Scientific Lab opens in 1945 at Columbia University.
T.J. Lester, IBM's first black sales representative, is hired in 1946.
By the late 40s, IBM products are being used in 79 countries around the globe. They're really growing.
The selective sequence electronic calculator, the first computer that could modify a stored program.
The card programmed electronic calculator.
1950, IBM's in Israel.
In 1951, we started work on the IBM 701, the world's first mass-produced computer. It's the machine that carries us into the electronics business.
In 1952, IBM Chairman Thomas J. Watson hands the reins over to his son, Thomas J. Watson Jr., and the modern corporation continues to evolve.
In 1953, Watson Jr. issues the company's first equal opportunity policy letter. The Civil Rights Act comes over a decade later.
I was born in 1954. That same year, an IBM computer translates Russian into English. A first.
1955年、IBM の700に電子データプロセスマシンが誕生しました。
1956, Ramback.
1957, Fortran.
Watson Jr. hires the best architects and designers in the world to work with IBM. Good design is good business.
More affordable and easier to use than anything before it, the IBM 1401 is the first computer in the world to sell 10,000 units.
1960, the Stretch Computing System.
1961, la machine à écrire électrique, Unicorn.
In 1962, IBM develops the Sabre reservation system for American Airlines. What once took hours can now be done in real time.
The following year, in one of the riskiest decisions ever made in business, Watson Jr. bets the future of the company on
the IBM System 360.
The System 360 takes several years and $5 billion to develop, making it the largest privately financed commercial project in history.
For the first time, the power of computing is accessible to organizations of all sizes.
In 1966, IBM researcher Robert Dennard invents DRAM, memory on a chip. Eventually, billions would be produced.
1967, Benoit Mandelbrot. He invents fractal geometry, and a new branch of mathematics is born.
By 1968, IBM's 10-year partnership with America's space program is converging on their ultimate mission.
As we explore the reaches of space, let us go to the new worlds together. Not as new worlds to be conquered, but as a new adventure to be shared.
Il database relazionale rivoluziona il modo in cui i dati sono accumulati e processati.
1971.
Computers can talk.
IBM's first automated teller machine was introduced in June of '72.
In 1973, IBM introduces the UPC barcode.
1974, Systems Network Architecture.
1975, the IBM 5100, the first portable computer. Kinda.
1976, the first laser printer.
IBM's data encryption standard revolutionizes the way information is protected.
IBM introduces the first mini-computer to feature a built-in relational database.
The first Kanji computer terminal is introduced in '79, the year I was born.
RISC. It's invented by IBM in 1980, and it's still the basis of most microprocessors today.
IBM introduces the personal computer. We expect to sell 240,000 units. We sell 2 million over the next 3 years.
The Tokyo Research Lab opens in 1982.
IBM introduces the System 36, an easy-to-use business computer featuring 2,800 help screens.
Is a 1 million bit memory chip possible? In 1984, it is.
1985, John Akers becomes IBM's 7th CEO.
1986, Gerhard Binning and Heinrich Rohr become the second and third IBMers to win the Nobel Prize. The first was Leo Isaki.
1987, Georg Bednorz und Alex Müller gewinnen für ihren Durchbruch in Hochtemperatur-Superleitfähigkeit.
1988, AS400.
Silicon germanium chips.
1990.
What does an IBM scientist do to prove he can move atoms? He rearranges them to form the letters IBM.
IBM researchers invent a computer chip that can move 8 billion bits of information in a single second.
ThinkPad.
The early 90s. Tough times for IBM. Some people wonder if the company's going to make it. But in 1993, Lou Gerstner arrives and takes IBM in a whole new direction.
IBM refocuses everyone on the customer. How?
solutions,
systems, software, services,
e-business. By 1997, IBM is back.
That same year, IBM's Deep Blue defeats the reigning grand champion of chess.
A thrilling win for IBM's Deep Blue.
IBM embraces Linux, and the era of open source innovation is born.
The President of the United States awards the National Medal of Technology to IBM, the 7th they received so far.
Carbon nanotubes.
Millipede technology stores 3 billion bits in a space this big.
In 2003, Sam Palmisano becomes the big boss. The world will soon become smaller and flatter.
The World Community Grid. BlueG, the fastest computer ever.
这个电脑说英文。
This computer speaks English.
Patents. Smarter planet. Saga Satis.
After a century of innovations, we're just getting started.
100 is a big, big number.
What will the next 100 years bring?
I use the past to predict the future.
I'm working on the next big breakthrough.
In 10 years, supercomputers could use 10 times less power and run 1,000 times faster.
I'll be able to sequence a genome so we can create personalized medicine.
The whole world is data.
I'm using data to help detect the onset of disease.
I've discovered a way to build curiosity into a system.
I'm working on a system that can think like you.
We've always been working for the future.
That's what I'm working on.
That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on.
I'm an IBMer.
I'm an IBM.
I'm an IBM.
I'm an IBMer.
I think that you have to have more than just a machine.
We must study through listening, observing, and thinking. All of the problems of the world could be settled easily if men were only willing to think.
Oh. So you like it? You like it? So the video is, impressive, inspiring, exciting, and also the emotionally touching. So in this video, you saw so many innovations, such as product innovation, innovative tableting machines, innovative the punch cards, and innovative computers. So you saw so many product innovation. Also, you saw the so many kind of the innovation for the society, the entire society, such as the traffic signal control system, and also the social security system, and also you saw the innovation for the entire world, such as the Apple project. And also now they are working on the innovation for the entire world. Smarter city, smarter planet. So the IBM is a company of innovation, and they have been doing innovation at so many levels, at the business level, product level, business level, social level, and also the global level. The IBM is a company of innovation. So quite impressive. And also in this video, you saw so many so-called social innovations. Innovation is a company of being politically correct. They began to offer the support program for the physically handicapped persons. No discrimination within IBM because of the racial reasons. Actually, it is quite surprising. No discrimination because of the racial reasons before the regulation of the Civil Rights Act 10 years before. that the U.S. is still suffering from this issue, very deeply rooted social issue. But at IBM, within IBM, no discrimination. Also, the opportunity for female employees and the appointing the first female executives. But now IBM is being led by the first female CEO, Sam Parmisano, and he was the CEO when this video was developed. But he stepped down in 2003, and from 2012, IBM welcomed the first female CEO. But there is so many social innovations, and because of these so many innovations, IBM is a company of being respected by the society. Therefore, quite impressive. And so that because of the so many innovations, IBM could accomplish a sustainable growth. Again, the point is, innovation does really matter. Without innovation, you cannot achieve a sustainable growth. This is the case for the big companies. Also, this is the case for the small companies. This is the case for the public organization. This is the case also the private organization. So, the importance of the innovation and the importance of the being socially correct, politically correct, if we want to drive innovation. Again, this is the core concept of the Phronetic leadership. In driving innovation, you have to think about the common goods, working for the society. You should not work for your self-interest. You have to work for the public interest, because innovation should have a big impact, big positive impact on the society. So therefore, you want to get profit, but in doing so, you should not forget the importance of the working for the community, working for the society, working for the common goods. Without that, innovation is not achieved. So this is the core concept for the Phronetic leadership. So I'm going to describe this point in more depth later. By the way, in this video, you saw so many IBMers. But from those people, we got this impression: IBM is diverse. IBM is diverse. I think IBM is one of the most advanced global companies. And globalization means dealing with diversity. As you go global, you are going to have the global employees internally. Also, you are going to deal with, you are going to satisfy diverse customers. So globalization means dealing with diversity. Therefore, companies should be also diverse. And from that video, we can say this: IBM is so diverse. And you saw so many people, and they are proud of the company. I'm IBMer, so being proud of the company. And also, we have this impression: IBM is flat. Why? Because those people appeared in the video without any title. Without any title. Why I emphasize this point? Because in the video, you also met former CEOs and current CEOs. They also appeared in the video, but without any titles. Everybody, appeared, in the video as a just equal one single IBMer. IBM is flat. But so you met those top guys in the video. So upper right, Sam Parmisano. In 2011, he was the CEO and the chairman. But as I said, at the end of the 2011, he stepped down. He passed the baton to the first female IBM CEO. Okay, and here the right, at the bottom of the right side, you see the Lou Gassner, who saved IBM. He came to IBM, and that time IBM became almost bankrupt. And he could achieve a big turnaround in the history of corporations. But it's quite amazing. He had no IT background. So before becoming a CEO, he was the CEO for IBM. He was CEO for RJ Nabisco company producing snacks for kids. So they no IT background. And before becoming CEO for RJR Nabisco, he was the CEO for Amex, American Express. Again, no IT background. And he started his career as the top consultant for McKinsey. So starting as consultant, becoming a CEO for Amex, or becoming a CEO for RJ Nabisco, and finally he became the CEO for IBM. And amazingly, he could achieve a big turnaround. So but it took 10 years for Lou Gerstner to accomplish a big turnaround. And the bottom left, these three guys actually appeared in the video because they are still alive. Okay. The bottom left, you see the John Akers, who had a very unfortunate career at IBM. He became IBM CEO in 1985. So the previous year, they got a very good profit, and he became CEO in 1985. But as I said, so many changes did occur in the computer industry. He could not lead IBM effectively, and therefore he got fired. He got fired, unfortunately, and therefore he was replaced by Lou Gerstner. So those guys appeared in the video because they are alive. Two others, because since they already passed away, they appeared in the video through the pictures, photos. The upper left, actually those two guys are very famous father and son. At the center, you see Watson Sr., Thomas Watson Sr., father, and the upper left, you see the Thomas Watson Jr., the son. Okay, so very famous father and son. In terms of the business achievement, son did great because, as you saw in the video, he started a big project for producing System 360, and he took a risk. He invested as much as $5 billion. The biggest project in the history of corporations, still the biggest project. He took a risk, but eventually they could achieve a success. And because of the success for developing System 360, IBM became the leading IT computer company in the world. So in terms of the achievement, the son did a great job. But surprisingly, in that video, father got highlighted most. He appeared with his pictures several times, and his name was mentioned several times. And also, around the end of the video, you saw the voice message. That was a message done by Watson Sr. Then the question is why this guy highlights so much. Actually, he became CEO for CTR in 1914, and he changed the company name in 1924. Then the question is why this guy highlighted so much, because in 1914, when he came to CTR, he defined think as the most important mission for IBMers. At that time, CTR should be a company for thinking. Okay? Creativity. You have to think a lot. Because why think is defined as the most important mission? Because according to Watson Sr., there are so many problems in the world. But just by thinking, those problems will be resolved. Therefore, think must be the most important mission for people working for CTRs. And he defined the mission, and people working at CTR, and later on people working at IBM, behaved along that mission. Therefore, innovation was achieved. Okay? So therefore, why IBM could achieve so many innovations? The answer is because of think defined as the most important mission for IBM, for CTR. And think is still the most important mission for IBM, even today. So the think defined in 1914, and think is still the most important mission for IBM. And the title for the video is 100 times 100. Why they could celebrate 100th anniversary? Because IBMers, they behaved along with the mission of the think, and then therefore they could achieve innovation. So therefore, in that video, the video summarizing the history of IBM, What's Senior was highlighted most. So think the similar meaning of creating something new. Knowledge creation. For knowledge creation, you have to think. You have to think. Although they do not use the word terminology such as knowledge creation, the same opinion between IBM and us. The importance of creating something new, utilizing your knowledge by thinking. So then you can achieve innovation, then you can achieve a sustainable growth. So this is the concept of the knowledge creation, innovation, driving innovation, creating something new, creating new knowledge, just by thinking. So this think is still defined as core value, core mission for IBM. And you know why the name for that laptop computer, ThinkPad? The ThinkPad comes from think, okay, the kind of mission for IBM. But you know, ThinkPad, that brand was already sold to Lenovo. Yeah, so therefore it was a very tough choice, tough decision. But you know, they wanted to drive new business model. Therefore, they sold that brand name to Lenovo. But because of that bold decision, IBM still continued to grow. So this is kind of the summary of the history of IBM up to 2011. And Sam Palmisano, he became CEO. And you know, as I said, it took 10 years for IBM to achieve a big turnaround. And in 2003, IBM was far better in terms of the performance. Then the new growth opportunities began to emerge in your countries, such as Cambodia, Thailand, Brazil, India, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam. So now, for the leading companies, global leading companies, growth opportunities were emerging being generated in emerging markets. But this is a big challenge for leading companies because they have in the emerging markets, in your market, companies may have to deal with different demand for products, different demand for quality standard, different demand for the specification. That means if you want to grow business in emerging countries, they have to also drive another innovation. But it's quite challenging. So therefore, Sam Palmisano thought something must be done internally at IBM. So therefore, IBM started a very unique initiative. In 2008, the initiative is called the Corporate Service Corps. It got started in 2008. This is the CEO initiative, and this is kind of the new global leadership development program for IBM with a focus on younger people. Who will be leading IBM? Maybe in 10 years from now. And what is this? So I think currently this program is seen as the most innovative global leadership development program. And it started in 2008. So the IBM, they focus on the high pots, very young high potentials, who are seen as the candidates for the future officers. They are late 20s, early 30s. They form a group of diverse people, around 2 people. It's very diverse. And they have this assignment. You have to go to the new market. You have to go there And you have to work with the local communities. You have to work with local government. You have to work with local, NPOs, NGOs. And your assignment is identify the key issues in that community, and you have to work with the local communities to solve the local issues. This is the assignment. So, and they were sent to new countries, Vietnam, Cambodia as well, and in Myanmar. And they stayed in this country for 1 month, just working on the solution of the social issues. This is not for profit. They go there and they work with the local government to come up with the creative solution for the local issues. So this is kind of a unique leadership development program. And here in this program, the emergence of the public sector and the private sector began to occur. Because this is the idea. If you want to grow in the emerging countries, so you also have to solve the social issues. Without solving the social issues, business growth in emerging countries would be impossible, would be very difficult. So if you want to grow your business in emerging countries, why don't you solve the local issues? But for that purpose, you have to work with public sector. You have to work with NPOs. You have to work with NGOs. It's a very innovative global leadership development program for private sector. Private sector. So these are the countries. So where this program were already held. See, Brazil, Cambodia, Chile, and China, Egypt. The African countries. They go there. They identify the most important social issues, and they have to come up with the creative solutions for those social issues. But in identifying the solution for the social issues, of course, they have to utilize unique IBM technologies, unique IBM capabilities. So collaboration between business and the society, collaboration between the public sector and the private sector, to solve the big social issues. So by launching this program, they want to accomplish 3 objectives simultaneously. So the communities have their problems solved with the help from IBM. Collaboration between the public and the private. And IBMers receive, especially junior IBMers, young IBMers, they receive leadership training and development. And but later on, IBM might be able to achieve develop new markets and the global leaders. Because by working together with the local community, IBM might be able to increase their corporate reputation in your country. So then, business growth in this country might be much easier. So this is a program with a very long-term perspective, but with very strong social awareness. They want to work with for the society. Then eventually, that may be leading to the business growth. Again, this is the core concept of the Phronetic leadership. So if you want to grow businesses, you also should be involved in the local community issues. Okay? This is the idea behind the program. And the impact on IBM from this program was enormous. This program is internally defined as Laboratory for Innovation. So again, IBM, they want to achieve new innovation, but which requires laboratory. Because now they are facing a completely new demand, new markets in your countries, such as. So therefore, they have to do the laboratory innovation through this program. And also the IBM, they want to develop new leaders who have a very strong social awareness. And that's kind of the social awareness is indispensable if they want to grow business in new countries. And also eventually, IBM might be able to establish the IBM brand and achieve a higher reputation in emerging markets. So these are the objectives for the IBM program. So from that case, we can see the new corporate leadership development initiative, new movement, or new initiative. They want to achieve two objectives, two goals simultaneously: business growth and social problem solving. They want to achieve both. They want to achieve both. And also, for that purpose, the best thing is developing practical wisdom in leaders by letting them solve global issues. They have to go to the community. They have to involve in the community. They have to work with local people. They have to create a new teamwork with local people. Through that, they can develop the practical wisdom, which is practically useful. And with that, they might be able to achieve innovation in new markets. So this is a pretty new trend, and which is led by companies such as IBM. And why IBM began to launch this kind of new initiative? Actually, as I'm going to explain, this kind of new initiative is done not only by IBM, but other leading companies, such as Nestle. I'm going to explain the Nestle example momentarily. And actually, a big change did occur after Lehman shock. Okay? Because of Lehman shock, the world suffered a lot. Many people lost a job. Some company got bankrupt. And so the world suffered a lot because of the Lehman shock. Then the management scholars, business leaders, management gurus, they discussed what was wrong with management. And it's a kind of a 3-day discussion, which were held in the US. The summary conclusion for that discussion was published in HBR, Harvard Business Review, in 2009. Title for that the article is "Moonshots for Management." Moonshots. When President Kennedy said that, many people said it is impossible. It is sending people to the moon is this idea is impossible. But he said, you may want to say it is impossible, but we have to do it. We have to do it. So that these kind of the recommendations for companies, these might be moonshots, very difficult to achieve. But we have to do it. We have to do it. Otherwise, sustainable growth of the company, sustainable growth of the earth would not be achieved. So this is the kind of conclusion from the meeting for 3 days. So these are the top 7 the recommendations among the top among 25 recommendations. Number 1, ensuring that the work of management serves a higher purpose. Higher purpose. Working for the common goods. Going beyond self-interest. Working for the common public interest. This is the most important the assignment for companies, because this is recommendation number 1. The most important recommendation. You have companies, you have to work for the society. The number 2, fully embed the idea of community and the citizenship in management system. Community and the citizenship in companies which want to get profit. A big change, big mindset change. So again, importance of the working for the society, going beyond the self-interest, self-profit. Number 3, reconstruct management's philosophical foundation. They said philosophy, is kind of the most important fundamental for companies. Why? Because innovation is for the society, for the benefit of the society. So therefore, in driving innovation, you have to think about whether this is the correct way, right way for living. Is this correct, justified for human beings? For that purpose, you have to study philosophy. You have to study philosophy. Therefore, you have to create embed the philosophical foundation in business, in public organization, and also in private organization. Quite impressive. And this is a recommendation given to leading global companies. Therefore, those companies such as IBM, Nestle, and also the Honda, they began to change themselves, aiming for the social innovation, aiming for the contribution to the society, to the community, to the local people. Okay, these are the big shift in the corporate management. And so let me, before having a break, let me introduce one more example coming from Europe. But before doing that, let me introduce one new concept, creating shared value, CSV. So the idea was published, announced by Michael E. Porter, Porter, guru for the strategy, teaching at Harvard University. So the Porter is famous for 5 forces. Porter is for the strategy. But nowadays, he completely changed his idea. The companies should aim for CSV. The idea is CSR is gone. CSR is gone. Now CSV is coming. So what is the difference between CSV and CSR? It's a big difference. It's a big difference. So kind of the new paradigm shift for corporate activities. In the past, big companies, they want to do something for the CSR. Offering money for the welfare, for the social activities, and they want to do something good for the society. But there's a clear distinction between business itself and CSR. Clear separation. CSR is just for doing something good. The business is business. Clear separation. But according to Porter, that's wrong. That's wrong. See, doing something good should be completely connected to doing growing business. See, the value CSR, doing good, doing something good for the society. CSV, economic and societal benefits relative to cost. Because if you want to do business, you have to think about cost. You have to think about the investment. So you have to achieve 2 objectives, working for the society and the growing business. So therefore, the value is completely different. Therefore, joint company and community value creation. So this is the typical, complete explanation for IBM CSR. Joint company and community value creation. And integral to competing. Integral to competing. So the companies, they have to win in the market, but then you have to develop a good strategy. But in driving strategy, you have to think about the CSV. What can be done by you for the society? And the integral to profit maximization. See, it's kind of unique because the CSR is completely separated from profit maximization. Because CSR is just doing something good for the society. But if the corporate performance is not so good, they stop CSR activities. See? Okay, unfortunately this year, our sales is not so good. We have no money for giving the society. It's done. But the idea is that's wrong. That's wrong. As a company, you have the responsibility for the society. But at the same time, you have to grow your business. How to achieve the 2 kind of the assignments. So therefore, then the new concept might be requested. Therefore, CSV. And the agenda is company-specific and internally generated. Yeah, each company, because strategy means doing something different. Strategy means requires focus, clear focus. Strategy means a choice. So therefore, you have to decide what should be done by your company to gain and sustain competitive advantages. Therefore, each agenda for the CSV is company specific and internally decided. So let me introduce one concrete example. So the case for the Nestle. So Nestle, actually Michael Porter, he has been working closely with Nestle to develop this concept. And what is, this is a presentation made by the current chairman of the Nestle, Peter Phronetic. The trading share values is the basis of a long-term business strategy for Nestle. As you know, Nestle is the biggest #1 global food company in the global food industry. They are #1. But for them, CSV should be the basis of the long-term business strategy for them to compete. And so therefore it says that in order to have business success in the long term, so you have to create value for society. Long-term perspective. And they also want to create value for society. Again, this is for them to compete. This is for them to accomplish sustainable growth. And it means that shareholders, stockholders, shareholders cannot be served if you do not serve the public interest as a center. Completely new mindset, new idea coming from the biggest food company in the world. So let me show what was completely done by Nestle. Even for Nestle, growth in emerging countries is strategically important. For them to grow business in emerging countries, they develop PPP. This is the vision for them to grow in emerging countries. See, three core concepts. Nestle will extend down in the economic pyramid. Okay? So now the growth engine will be coming from the base of the pyramid. 3 billion people who live in the base of the pyramid. And this is the biggest market for companies. So therefore, they want to grow in the base of the pyramid. And they want to satisfy the 4 billion people in the world, okay? And then therefore Nestle will extend down in the economic pyramid and to reach consumers with lower incomes and bring them affordable health and the nutrition solutions and then join them on their journey to better life. This is their strategy. So the agenda is internally decided because Nestle is strong in offering unique solutions for the affordable health, nutrition. So those things are internally decided. This is the way for them to differentiate their business. So this is their strategy to grow in emerging countries. This is done only by Nestle because they have the size. They have the global presence. They have been working closely with the local community. Therefore, this can be done only by Nestle. But this is a Nestle vision for growth in the base of the pyramid. And let me show the one concrete activities which were being done by Nestle in South Africa. South Africa, they want to grow in South Africa. But for that purpose, they have to increase the number of the people who can buy Nestle products. For that purpose, they have to get a job. If people, remain as if people cannot get a job, of course they cannot, get money. they cannot purchase Nestle products. Therefore, Nestle, they work with local NGOs to offer job training to people, especially younger people who lost their job. It's free. They offer this job training to younger people who lost their job. And if they are very good, they can get a job at Nestle. So again, this is a Nestle way working for the society with long-term perspective. If they get a job, they can get money. So eventually, they might be able to buy Nestle products. But for that purpose, they have to solve the social issues. Without the solution of the social issues, Nestle could not grow in South Africa. So therefore, this is the concrete example of the implementation of the CSB. So now you see companies are changing. Global companies are changing. So now you see the convergence between the business sector and the public sector. And especially private sectors, they want to learn from the public sectors. Because for people working for the public sector, social mission should be very high. So for them, for Nestle and for IBM to grow their business in emerging countries, it is critically important to to generate high social mission among people working at IBM or working at Nestle. So they want to learn from the public sector. And then with that, we can see the new definition for global companies. In the past, this is the old definition. Growth business globally beyond regional boundary. This is the older definition. The new definition, serving global companies are those companies which can solve global big issues, while growing business globally. And also they have to demonstrate new leadership, thought leadership. Thought leadership means leadership for creating new concept, okay? So they have to demonstrate thought leadership in solving global big issues. This is kind of the new definition for global companies. And here comes the definition for the Phronetic leadership. So those things can be explained by the concept of the phronesis. Actually, phronesis is a very old concept, initially developed by Aristotle. Okay? Aristotle. And it means prudence. It means practical wisdom, and it means practical reasoning. And this is kind of the new leadership is practical wisdom to make right decisions and take right actions in particular context. But in doing so, they have to think about the common goods. So phronesis is a new leadership capability for making a right judgment not only for themselves, but also for the common goods. This is kind of the concept initially developed by Aristotle. The phronesis is a practical wisdom for exercising the best judgment for the common good in a particular context. Since the working for the society is becoming more and more important, so new leadership is required, and new leadership is called Phronetic leadership. The Phronetic leadership is the kind of the capability for exercising the best judgment for the common good in a particular context. And so therefore, you have to think about what should be done by companies so that they can work for the society, they can work for the common goods. So this is the concept of Phronetic leadership. And actually, based on that concept, Professor Nonaka recently developed a new concept, wise leadership. Wise leaders are leaders who can drive the innovation. So especially the wise leaders should have at least these 6 capabilities. The first, ability to make judgment on goodness. The most important capability. Yeah, you want to drive innovation, but that innovation should make a big contribution to the society. So therefore, in doing innovation, you have to make a key judgment. Should we do it? Should we launch this product? Should we work for this the common issue? Then you have to develop the high capability for making a judgment on goodness, which comes from philosophy. Okay. The second capability is, but you should be very realistic, because you have to work for society. You have to work on the very concrete issues. Therefore, you have to have the superb capability for perceiving reality as it is. Okay, and also you have to develop the high capability for creating bar. Bar is kind of the context. Context is comprised of the people interaction, time, physical place. And so that means, so you go to the community, you have to create good teamwork, you have to establish good relationship with local community. So this is the capability for creating, good bar, capability for developing the good teamwork, establishing very good social relationships with people working in the society. Then you have to, have the high capability for articulate the essence. And finally, in working for this kind of the social issues, you have to deal with so many stakeholders, which require, political maneuver. Because this, think about IBM. They want to work with local community, but at the same time, they have to satisfy shareholders. So they have to deal with so many, stakeholders, such as politicians, governors, people living in the community, also IBM customers, and IBM shareholders. Their interests might be conflicting. Therefore, you have to exercise the political maneuver, and so that your ideas will be implemented eventually. Finally, the final capability is developing Phronetic in others. Of course, you yourself should develop the Phronetic leadership within yourself. But you have to invest for the future. You have to develop Phronetic in others. You have to develop, leadership at the every single organizational level. So the leadership should exist not only at the top management, but also in the middle management, but also at the lower level, front line. So the leadership should exist throughout the organization. For that purpose, you have to develop the Phronetic in others. These are the last capabilities. So this is kind of the concept, and therefore I'm gonna explain the concept in more detail, and by introducing then the one innovative Japanese companies, Honda. But before doing that, let's have a break. It's 10 a.m. So let's have a break for 15 minutes. Good?